Welcome. Today we'll be completing Elden Ring as a Soldier of Godrick. I'll explain more of what that means in a bit, but to summarize, if the early game enemy Soldier of Godrick can drop it, we can use it. Plus talismans, physic, and optional consumables should we need them. As always, we enter Limgrave with nothing. And so, it's time to get recruited for the army of Godrick. All we got to do is ask them politely. One of you got him. Yeah, they gave me 8 helmets. I think that was deserved. Anyways, we have the build. Lordsworn's straight sword, optional shield should we need it, and a set of armor heavy enough that we would need significant investment in endurance to light roll, or an extra talisman. As you run around collecting items, runes, physic tiers, etc., I'll explain the goal of this build. The short sword comes with the Ash of War standoff, which deals 30 stance damage on a light attack and 40 on a heavy attack. This, combined with the high critical damage on the sword, means we can expose certain attacks on bosses and stance break them for a high damage critical or a riposte. I tried to keep my level roughly equal to the area I was in, save for Margit, who mostly served as a damage tester. On screen is roughly how I increased my stats throughout the run, expecting to hit level 151 by the time we were fighting the last 3 bosses. We ended at level 148, so this should be a pretty accurate guide of where I'm at for each boss. After collecting most of what we needed, it was time to collect the first important talisman, Golden Scarab. This would increase our runes gained with felled enemies. This is also where I show off our fighting style, and how most of our important fights will look in the future. Margit only has 80 poise, and with our weapon upgraded a bit past his level, we made pretty quick work. From there, we went behind this hidden wall in the back of the Black Knife Catacombs for an assassin's cerulean dagger, which will restore FP when we perform a riposte. This helps us manage our FP without having to back off and use cerulean flasks, helping us maintain stance damage against some tougher enemies. We also grabbed the Crimson variant from the Death-Touched Catacombs, but we didn't use it a whole lot, although you'll see it a bit when we don't have our other talismans yet.
Please.
Utilizing Raya's questline, we can get over to Volcano Manor, where behind a Godskin Noble we can get our next talisman. The smart way to beat Godskin Nobles is to use sleep pods, since we have access to them by now. However, I decided I would only do that for the Godskin duo, since we are pretty strong against only one of them. Okay. Nice. Using a Stone Sword key, we grabbed the Dagger Talisman, increasing our critical or riposte damage by 17%. To progress, we needed Great Runes, so Renala and Red Wolf was up first. Oh yeah, we'll be okay. Wrong one. My fault. Hola.
And real Renala, nice. Fuck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, Lash of War didn't need it. The moon! We'll just wait, this is fine. Want me stamina? Oh, fuck. We're not. Okay, that's fine. This guy's okay. It's not dragon, it's literally fine. Nice. First try! Woo!
And then we went to Radon after. Our Lord Godrick can wait his turn.
Run, brother. Holy shit! Oh, doesn't want the crit this time. Yeah, going into meteor pace. Oh, hi, man. How's it going? We don't need you, sorry. I probably don't need a jump, but I do it anyway. I don't have the stamina. Please come back here and stop running. He's not dead. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I didn't use the heal there. Should have finished the fight. Finisher!
We collect our next talisman pouch, and then talk to Randy to unlock the Carrion Filigree crest in Ichi's shop. You can technically do this earlier by talking to Blaive, and then doing an Everjail. But I was dumb, and did the Everjail for early runes. So, we get it now. It reduces how much FP it takes to use Standoff, so we almost didn't need our Cerulean Flask at all. A big help. A quick note, and as you can see here, I swapped the Strength Affinity on the weapon for magic damage to fight this Falling Star Beast, as he drops smithing stones I needed to further upgrade the short sword and the shield. I plan to do this more, as well as using weapon greases to increase our damage, but didn't really end up needing it all too much, so this is one of the only fights that you'll see that happen. With our upgraded short sword and our 3 goaded talismans, we pushed around Draconic Tree Sentinel, exposing one of our only weaknesses, enemies that cannot be critically hit. While Draconic Tree Sentinel isn't the strongest enemy, this would be an important note for 2 remembrances later in the run. Spirit Godfrey then gives us our last talisman pouch, and then it was time for our Gatekeeper to late game items. Morgott.
Maybe I do need more levels for him. I didn't think I did, but maybe I do. Actually, he has incredibly low poise. It might be possible to do it. I forgot how low poise Morgott has. Never mind, we got it. I mean, how easy is that once you actually get him poise broken? He's so disgusting. What? Oh my god, there's no way I just did that.
Time to take a small break from the intensity, as our next few challenges are slugfests. Rykard, can't be critically hit, as a stance break does not open up a golden spot. While using some other talismans would have made this go faster, I just grabbed the special weapon and did the fight normally. It's not too much of a pain, but there isn't much to highlight here. Instead, I'll start to go over some strategy for the late game bosses while we wait, as there are some considerations and edits made to the build to help us here. Our armor has almost completely fallen off at this point, so Morgoth's Great Rune for some extra HP helps us tank an extra hit or two, saving us more than once. After Fire Giant, we also snagged Dragon Crest Shield Talisman for physical damage reduction, specifically for Malekith and Millennia, two bosses that do a lot of physical damage. We're still not done with Rykard, so now's a great time to note that the speckled hard tier in our physic has been replaced with stamina regeneration. The damage reduction was nice, but I found that I was punished the most when I was out of stamina. Either I needed one more hit and had to wait, or needed to roll and couldn't. Replacing the physic mix was the easiest to sacrifice without hurting the rest of our build.
Yeah, it's just... I'm way out of range for this, unfortunately. Probably a bad idea. Oh, just kidding. It was actually the best idea because it killed him. Fuck you, Rykard.
Also, here's a compilation of Commander Nial's athleticism. This didn't waste any of my time. Apt. All. I promise. This is all in one singular fight, by the way. After those two slowpokes is Fire Giant. Fire Giant hits hard, but not often. Conversely, I hit him often, but not very hard. It takes a long time. So, I'll mention the last change made to this run for later bosses, the shield. I had collected the parry Ash of War, but I found I wasn't much good with it. Adding the stamina regen that I had done earlier, I found that we could block some attacks and hit a guard counter for some okay stance damage. This would help us keep stance breaking quick enemies, especially enemies that would avoid our Ash of War often. Along with some extra consumables, like boiled crab for some physical damage resistance, or creases for elemental damage, we were all prepared for the gauntlet coming up. But before we get to the last few remembrances, let's cheese Godskin Duo with sleep pots and repeat critical hits.
Make Godskin Duo not a pain. Giga crit. Good night, Godskin Duo.
Completing Godskin Duo gives us the bell bearing needed to fully upgrade our sword and our shield. And then, we get our last important talisman, Shard of Alexander, boosting our Ash of War damage, which we are already spamming. We collect an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, which maxes out our sword, and then we beat another Draconic Tree Sentinel. Eat it! And now we confront Malekith. Malekith has a handful of moves I know how to punish, and the rest we could roughly tank through. He also has 80 stance HP, so even if he's more mobile and harder to punish, he will fall theoretically as fast as Margit. 2 heavy attack Ash of War uses.
Yeah, heal here, unfortunately. Oh.
Getting into the second phase, it was the same cycle. Find the punishable attack and dodge the rest, or tank the other hits as required. Malekith has some very lethal combo attacks, and our physical damage reduction helps a lot less in phase 2 once that Rune of Death comes out.
Nice. Okay. Explodes. Okay. Oh,
However, with some patience and a well-timed final attack, we could proceed. I figured at this point that I would finish the Remembrances. I forgot to do Fia's questline, so instead, you get the first time I've ever fought Placidusax. I didn't know where he was in my first playthrough, and this is my second. With 160 poise HP, it will take a little bit longer to stagger. But with some slow attack patterns, it shouldn't be too bad, right?
Standard FromSoft boss, really. Sit down, brother!
Are you poisoned yet? Convince me I got hit by that last attack without lying. Haters will say it's impossible. You motherfucker, you did it again! This is a good attack for us. We can crit him here. Being under his belly is a perfect spot. Alright, we want to time this here because we keep missing this. Hey, he's gone. Oh no. It doesn't one-shot me. Okay, we're alive. Get over here! I just screamed. He's 1 HP. Please. Don't run away. Jump attack finisher? Jump attack finisher? Not even close.
Estelle and the Regal Ancestor Spirit were a lot lower level than I was at this point, so they were cleared out without issue and pretty much just free runes. Despite the monologue, Gideon can only be backstabbed for a critical, as he is a player-type enemy, like an invasion. They have poise, not stance, so they can be interrupted with lighter attacks.
Go home, Gideon! You're terrible! Your plan was a horrible idea!
Cannot become a lord. Not even you. A man cannot kill a god.
And now, the final part of the gauntlet.
I missed. Ah, I tried to roll that, damn. Alright, that's fine. Make a swing, let's go. Make a swing, let's go. Damn, I have to roll towards him on that one. Nice. Huge poise on that one. He kind of gave us that one for free. Oh, I forgot the double. Ah, I didn't roll that either. Fuck me. Oh, he did it twice. Fuck. We're gonna heal right after this. Actually, we don't need to. Nice! 2 tries. Not bad at all.
Moog is my least favorite. I'm just really bad against him. He doesn't have a lot of stance, but he does have a lot of HP, and a lot of damage. It was really a battle of attrition, but in the end, repeatedly breaking his stance led to a win. You may have noticed at this point that I explained a lot of buffs that we haven't really used yet. Namely, the shield and consumable buffs like boiled crab. It was mostly because I needed them against
It's kind of unlucky. Hello.
brief flashbang later, and it was time for Radagon of the Golden Order and Elden Beast.
Twice for poison attacks, just gives up.
But was that really the end? Was that truly our final challenge?
Dragon, thou'rt a true born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. Command thee. I am the Lord.
Not you, Godrick. We were ready to face a true Lord-sworn warrior. We would need every buff in our inventory. Meticulous patience, effort, and the willingness to face such an opponent. The Soldier of Godrick.
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.